Hello and welcome to a new edition of Tech Talk here on Money 9. I'm Krishnakumar, and joining us on this edition of Tech Talk is Nikhil Chawla, tech influencer and tech expert. And we are going to be taking a deep dive into all the affordable smartphones in the Indian market, considering the fact that there has been a big announcement in this space, and that is the launch of the Google and Reliance JIO smartphone called as the JioPhone Next. Nikhil, thank you so much for being with us on this edition of Tech Talk. Before we take that deep dive into a discussion on affordable smartphones in India,
Yeah.
all those watching this video, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us across all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. At the rate Money9 Live is our handle. You can also log on to our website, www.money9.com, for all the latest from the world of personal finance. Now, moving ahead with the discussion of the day, and that is about the JioPhone Next, which is the smartphone that is going to be launched specifically for the Indian market with a collaboration between Google and Reliance Jio. It's set to come with a voice assistant, quite unique for a affordable smartphone. It's set to have language translation capabilities. It's set to have this automatic read aloud of the screen text feature as well. It's going to have a smart camera with an augmented reality filter and many, many more capabilities. It will come loaded with a optimized latest version of the Android operating system. And the launch date has been set for a very auspicious day, the Ganesh Chaturthi day, which is the 10th of September this year, 2021. That's when that phone is going to be launched. But in the run up to that, let's discuss where this space, this affordable smartphone space in India is, because prices have been falling left, right, and center, isn't it, Nikhil? Considering that fact that more and more phones are coming extremely loaded these days at a much lesser price. What do you make of this Geo phone Next and the capabilities that it is set to have?
Absolutely. I think first of all, it's aptly named Next because it's gonna get the next 1 billion or few hundred millions to the 4G connectivity. Now, Reliance Jio wants a 2G Mukt or 2G free India. And to do that, they have to give affordable, connectivity, smartphones, and that's what exactly they're trying to do. People who are using 2G smartphones right now are mostly, keypadded phones and those budgeted phones which are under, 3, 4 thousand rupees. Now, to make this phone a success, it has to be priced under 5,000 rupees. And it's not like that there is no other phone available, a 4G smartphone that is not under 5,000 rupees. There are a few, there are a lot of companies working around that budget. You get a 4G smartphone right now also in India, which is, priced between 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. But what changes it all is the collaboration with Google, because the optimization of software that Google can give, and that the way they're working on this software to make it hassle free and giving timely updates. And we have seen it in the past with Google Pixel devices. Google always focused on software first, using their capabilities in natural language processing, AI, machine learning, and whatnot. Just using one camera to give what other was giving, like four cameras, Google was doing it with one single camera, thanks to all the software optimization they can do. So this is the interesting part about this device. First of all, I think it'll be priced under 5,000 rupees for sure to make it a great success. And to make it a great success, you have to have great software, which Google is providing this time. They will be making sure that you get timely updates, which is a big problem for budgeted phones, not just 5,000, 10,000 rupees phone. Even phone that are under 15, 20,000 rupees lack software updates, because what companies think is like, we made this product, we'll try and give an yearly update for an year or so, but that's about it, because they don't want to spend too much on the R&D, because that's how they cut corners. But over here, with Google coming into plan, they will be able to provide regular updates, nightly updates, and feature drops, which Google calls it, that optimizes your device every few months with loads of new features coming in. And as we've already mentioned, augmented reality and whatnot is already there. Secondly, language translation, which is very important. If you're getting that janta on a 4G generation, there might be problems because not everybody is English speaking or Hindi speaking. So getting all those translations, getting all those languages inbuilt this phone is really, really important, and they've done that. So that is the interesting part. And as Sudha Pinchai said, that they are really optimizing this version of Android. They're not releasing any data of yet, what it will be called, how it will work, but they're definitely working just for this smartphone. So imagine the kind of team it would be working on just one smartphone, giving you timely updates and making it the most optimized budget smartphone, to be honest.
Right. That's as far as the phone is concerned. And rightly pointed out, it has to be around that 5,000 rupee range because that's where it's come down to, isn't it, Nikhil?
Yeah.
Keeping that in mind, how much of a competition or how much of a game changer will the JioPhone Next be, considering the phones that are already available in the market in that price range?
I think there are 5 points that we have to look at. First is the software optimization that you'll get, which is very important because these devices obviously lack a great hardware set. They come with
Hmm.
limited amount of RAM, limited amount of ROM. So what makes is like the performance of the smartphone is really not up to the par because they're cutting corners, and that's the reason for that is you have to keep the cost low, and then there's no software optimization. So software optimization is first thing. Secondly, great set of cameras are gone in these devices. When you go on a 5,000, 6,000 rupees, it's just a camera there for the sake of it. It really isn't that great. But Google, using so much of techniques and technical capabilities in their Pixel devices, that's what I mentioned, like machine learning and natural language processing and whatnot in their cameras, will use it in this device, giving you a great camera with the capabilities that you get of a much higher devices. Thirdly, updates. You get updates on time, so that means your phone is secure. You are less prone to scams, which is could be a cause for this generation to skip smartphones entirely. They're worried their bank data would go. They're worried they'll lose something. They'll worry that they'll be scammed. So that will be taken care with timely updates. So these are the 3 4 things that are really important to take care of, and Google is doing that. Geo will obviously will offer great connectivity plans and maybe give the device for free. If charge it for 6 months for a year, get the device for free, they could really do that.
Nikhil, tell us now that we know we have a date on this JioPhone Next, which is the 10th of September 2021, and there are 3 months left to go for that. At this stage, if somebody wanted to buy a phone in that 5,000, around 5,000 rupee price change, then what are the best options available in the market?
Great. So it's not like that this is the first phone that will be under 5,000 rupees for a 4G smartphone. There are a lot of phones. You can get a smartphone from Techno, Infinix. If you stretch a budget a bit more, you get a Nokia, Motorola, Realme, Xiaomi. A lot of companies offer budgeted 4G smartphones. But the problem with them is like to make the ends meet or whatever you want to say to cut the corners. They really add a lot of advertisements. They install a lot of pre-installed apps that hinder the experience of the software, and because of those huge software overlays that they install on their devices to earn revenue out of the software, this becomes a challenge for developers to develop more apps. It becomes a challenge for them to even develop or get the updates on time. And that is the problem because there is so much in their overlay itself that they try to tweak it so much that they're not able to roll out the updates on time, which is a big problem. And because of these updates, see, people don't understand updates not just about getting new feature sets. It's about being secure, being updated with security patches every few months. And if you're not getting those security patches, your data is always prone to be hacked. And the smartphones are known for banking and whatnot, and every detail is on it. And for the next generation of 300 400 million people who are coming to smartphones with these devices are not that tech savvy. So you have to make sure that they get a device that is safe, secure, and that's what I think the JioPhone Next, rightly named Next, could be the next game changer.
Right, Nikhil. So you're essentially saying that in that 5,000 to 6,000 rupee price range, if somebody wanted to buy a phone today, they should ideally wait for the JioPhone Next to arrive because at the end of the day, that seems like the best option because of the fact that it comes with great software support from Google, straight away from Google.
Yes, it's coming from the big data itself, the makers and the founders and the owners of the Android ecosystem. So that's the reason I think it's good to wait. I mean, obviously, if you need a smartphone right now, you need a smartphone, right? You can't really wait. But if you have time, if you think that you can wait for a few months, you should definitely wait. And it's not just about the JioPhone Next. When it comes, the pricing will also really change for all the other products that are available in the market because they'll also try to compete, try to match up the offers that Jio gives, which will be very hard task to do, but they'll still try. And you might get your phone, which you are about to buy for 5 6,000 right now, for almost half the price.
So you're saying that like just the same way Geo, connections changed the pricing, format of your telephone calls and your data. Your Geo phone will also change the pricing in the especially in the affordable, phone segment. So in that sense, it will be a game changer.
Absolutely. Now, as Mukesh Ambani fondly calls it, like we killed the data giri. I think this will kill the smartphone giri of this budgeted segment or the first 4G smartphone. So we are hoping for the best. And I think because they have all the backing, because they have all the revenues and all that big strength and big companies and Google coming along, this definitely is one of the best moves. And if they can empower the next 300, 400 million people in India, why not?
Well, definitely. And so you're basically saying that if people have waited for so long and they do not want to spend any extra money, there are a lot of people out there who at this stage, especially post the pandemic, with a different view of life, do not want to be overspending or in fact spending any kind of money, a big amount on a mobile phone, because at the end of the day, all the basic things which a high-end smartphone does, an affordable smartphone also does it as well. So in that scheme of things, do you think that the affordable smartphone game, the way it exists right now, are there anything worthwhile even picking up in that 5,000 to 10,000 rupee range? As you said, some people need to buy a phone immediately. They just don't have the time to wait till Ganesh Chaturthi. So
Correct.
then what happens? So then if I were to ask you, three picks from you, three phones that are available in the market in that 5,000 to 10,000 rupee price range, which you still think is a good buy, knowing that the JioPhone Next is going to come soon.
Yeah, so definitely, because a lot of people who have to do their work right now, a lot of students who want a phone right now because the classes are moved online and they need a device and they have to settle for a budgeted device like under 10,000 rupees. So there are great set of devices if you reach that budget, because 5,000 is a different budget and 5 to 10,000 is completely double the amount. So when you reach that 5 to 10 gap, then the devices really grow, and there are a lot of players also come into the action. So if I have to pick up three, I think I would recommend Motorola devices, because it's up to you which one you want to buy, because there are different screen sizes, different battery sizes, and all. I'll differently recommend Nokia devices, and also Xiaomi and Realme are also making great devices. So these are the three companies I would recommend, because at least that you're getting timely software updates, you're getting things that you need. But then again, if you're buying that phone in the budget, you are gonna be splurged with goodies like good battery life, big displays, and as you mentioned, it matches almost everything of a flagship level. Just that the components are of a little lower quality, the build quality is lower quality, but the feature set is entirely something very similar. You get big screen sizes, big battery life, and that's exactly what we need in that budget.
So clearly, I want to ask one more thing as well. So these are things that you need, and you rightly pointed out in this affordable smartphone budget. Does something like 5G capabilities even matter at this stage? Because so many phones these days are advertised with the fact that this phone has 5G capabilities. Does it actually matter? Should it even be a factor to consider when you're buying a smartphone these days?
So it's like selling an electric car right now. You just go and get it and you'll save the environment or whatnot, but you'll be stuck on the highway because there are no charging points. So it's very similar to that, because you can get a 5G phone, but don't consider it to be as a primary feature. And I think smartphone maker should also not post it as a primary feature. If you're selling your smartphone but by just saying it's a 5G smartphone, that really doesn't make any sense, and it's trying to fool you. So I tell you to vary off such smartphone makers who tell you, okay, this is the most affordable 5G smartphone. Okay, we are the first 5G smartphone makers in India. So these things really don't matter right now till the time you don't have connectivity. And even when you have the connectivity, when it comes later on in the year or next year, would you be really be able to afford it? You get a phone, 25,000 rupees 5G smartphone. Would you pay 5,000 rupees a month for 5G connectivity or 3,000 rupees for connectivity? Because we are used to paying 300, 400 rupees for data. We have the cheapest data in the world we're getting because of Reliance Jio and other competitions. And if you're trying to would you be able to take that jump just to get faster connectivity? I don't think so. And also the fact that most of us are sitting home doing things on Wi-Fi. Do we really need 5G right now? Yes, for enterprise and corporates and all, 5G makes sense because there'll be a lot of data things they'll be doing. For consumers like us, I think it can be on hold.
Right. And but going by the same yardstick, this is a 4G phone, the JioPhone Next. It's just that it's packing in some unprecedented features for an affordable smartphone. I'm also going to ask you one last thing. Doesn't that mean that apart from the changing in the pricing of affordable smartphones, the kind of features that affordable smartphones are going to be packed with is going to find considerable improvement with the arrival of the JioPhone Next?
Absolutely, the competition will change it all because you have to. This is a kitna deti hai janta we are. So we want the maximum out of the least. So if you're
Mileage,
spending
just like mileage in the
exactly,
cars that we buy.
exactly. So that's how it is. I mean, this is our mentality. That's why a phone that is like 10,000 rupees in India, you'll get the same smartphone, everything same from the same company for almost double the price in Europe and US because we are used to getting that data, that pricing, and whatever it may be, the data pricing, the smartphone pricing, we are used to it and we want the maximum. If a smartphone is launched even 500 rupees more, they're being trolled on Twitter saying that, oh, bahut mehanga phone nikala hai. So you can imagine whatever companies do, they're always grilled that this is an expensive phone. So obviously, we want the maximum features in the least of pricing. And once JioPhone comes with augmented reality and whatnot, these players who are already selling devices will have to, amp up their game or maybe drop the pricing.
Yeah, or shape up or ship out, because there used to be a beautiful affordable smartphone once upon a time called Nokia 3310. Nikhil, we all remember that phone. That
Yeah,
phone, with so much of love for that phone, but the phone doesn't exist. The company doesn't exist. That's the kind of market. The mobile market is so fickle. A brand like Nokia can go kaput. There's so many brands in the market right now. And, even a few years ago, there was only a Micromax making affordable smartphones. But now with the arrival of the Chinese smartphone makers, nearly everything apart from an Apple and a Samsung, they're all affordable smartphone makers at the end of the day. All right, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it at that. We've run out of time here on this edition of Tech Talk. Nikhil Chawla, thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about the affordable smartphones in the Indian market and what the JioPhone Next is going to do to the space. It's a wrap here from my side, but make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us across all social media platforms at the rate Money9 Live is our handle. Log into money9.com for all the latest from the world of personal finance. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishnakumar signing off. Keep it with Money9.